It's springtime and the poplars have started growing again here on Charwell. Unfortunately, they're not really worth it. So, it's time to get rid of them. So let's get them ploughed under. Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Charwell. Yeah, we are going to get rid of the poplars. We want to get these fields, field 29 and field 83. We want to get these two fields ploughed. We could just use the cultivator, but the trouble with that is that these fields do actually need ploughing. They've never been ploughed or dealt with like that at all. So we're going to come back here. I've got my walking speed set wrong. There we go. That's better. And we're going to get this got rid of. Then we're going to go down the far side of the field. I think we're... Actually, no, this is the long edge. So we're going to start on the long edge of this field and start ploughing it. Now, I'm not going to turn the make field on because this is a actual field. It does have a boundary to it. So I want to stick within the existing boundaries. And then once we've found out where those boundaries are, we can then work from there. Now I want to get my angle right on here as well, and we want to turn our plough to start off with. And we are going to use the GPS to get this right once we've found the edge of this field. So check we don't have make fields on. Allow create fields is not on, so that's good. So let's see where our edge is and define the edge of this field. There we go. And we seem to be fairly nicely on it at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into our menu, snap terrain angle off, show lines off, yep, there we go. And we'll set our first point like so. And we'll keep on this line here because this line here seems to be at the edge of the field. Set it, width, go. Whoa. Okay, now that looked like it snapped terrain angle. Let's have a look. Snap terrain angle is off. So let's turn our lines on, see what's going on this. And what's happened there is that it has set our line, but not set the right place. So that's fine. We want to move that across, and I can't remember. On my wheel, it should be set to do that, but it won't. Now, I redid all of my controls a little while ago, so this is a little bit annoying. But what we'll do is we will run on that line there. We do want to shift it to the left, really. But it won't do it. In fact, I found more edge of field over here. So I don't actually want to go any closer to the edge than that. But yeah, we certainly seem to have more edge of the field over this way. We can squeeze past that tree, but not the next one. So I'll have to move out a little bit and then back. And then we can see we're getting rid of the poplars. And we can see where the edge of our field is as well. The thing about planting poplars is that they are not, they don't abide by the field edges. So we may find that we have some poplars over the field boundaries, in which case we will just increase the field boundaries here to get them to make sure that we include those poplars. But we were a far way from the edge of the field, thankfully. So it should still be okay. And I need to come back and see if we've got any more field along there. I don't think we have. But we'll be able to tell fairly quickly by looking at the map. And this should be a pretty good direction to be doing this. And getting everything in. And this will just get rid of these. Now, I did put it to you guys. I did ask you, should we get rid of or keep the poplars? And it was pretty resounding that it was such a loss maker for us. that we should get rid of them. I think I'm trying to think how you would best make money with poplars like this, because it's great as a winter crop, but there are so many more crops that we can put into this field that would just make money better than the poplars would. That it's just, yeah, and it's not a good use of our land to be growing poplars here. We're going to take the lines off, and I'm trying to work out under what circumstances would this be a good use. Maybe a really long field that's hard to harvest otherwise. I don't know. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are. What would be a good situation under which to grow poplars? Somebody did suggest that I'd grown them too far apart, and as a result, I'd not used enough space in the field, and I could make them more profitable that way. Unfortunately, the piece of kit that we were using, the baler, meant that we had to grow them this far apart to harvest them. If we didn't give ourselves a bit of a gap, then we ended up in a position where we weren't able to harvest them at all without destroying them. Yeah, look at that. We'll do the headlands in a bit. There we go. And away we go. So, yeah, we couldn't have grown them any closer together. We've got a decent sized field here. And I just don't think we made as much money off these as it cost us to hire the equipment in the first place, which is odd. But hey ho, it was an experiment. We discovered that actually we need to plant them as early in the year as possible. We could actually, one of the things we could actually do is do this now and then replant them afterwards, and we'd actually get a winter crop of poplars, which would be hilarious to go back their way. But yeah, I'm a little bit stuck as to exactly when doing poplars would be more cost effective than us planting something else, and that's the thing on here. I think when we're building up in these early stages, poplars are not a good crop for us to be doing. We could have made like another 50,000-60,000 off here, I think, and that would made a massive difference to our combine purchase as well, which of course we are looking to do in this series. We're looking to get a combine finally for here before we finish. Whoop. So down and in and away we go. And hopefully we'll be able to get one at a decent price. I think we're looking at probably about 100,000 ish for the combine. So I don't think we're going to get a brand new class. We might be able to stretch to 200,000. I don't think we can stretch much beyond that without having to pay it off over 2 seasons instead of 1. But who knows? If we put a good crop in here, we can actually. Speaking of good crops, yeah, if we put a good crop in here, we could make a lot of money. And that the interesting thing about that is, those are the crops. We can put almost any crop in here, almost any crop at all. And it will do well. It'll get a 20% boost from coming in after both poplars and grass. So yeah, I can insert these 2 fields in anywhere in the rotation. So we'll have a good look. We'll see what already has 2 fields going for it, and then we'll go from there. And yeah, and hopefully we'll make a decent amount of cash off them. But look at this. Look at those poplars just fall away in front of our tractor as we demolish this field. And we're demolishing this field actually a lot quicker than I was expecting. This plough is pretty good at this job. I lift it up, turn it round, I find ploughing one of those nice relaxing things to do in Farm Sim as well. Right. Down. Back on course. And away we go. And just down go the poplars. And we will replace them with something a little bit more profitable for us. So I'm going to continue on this for a little bit longer. And then we'll pick things up and see how we're doing and how much of the day's got left. A little over halfway through the field, or about halfway through the field at the moment, I think. And it's going well. We are absolutely knocking these poplars down. And I've just been thinking a little bit, is there an easier way we had of doing this? And there is possibly. I've gone with this plough, and it's one of those questions I think might come up. I've gone for this plough because I wanted to properly annihilate and destroy the poplars. Whereas we do have a subsoiler that is wider than this. I think this is a... How wide is our plough? Our plough is 11 foot? What, 2.5 meter plough this, I think? Let's have a look. So in our garage, this is a 3 meter plough. It's actually a pretty wide plough, this, but we do have a 6 meter subsoiler on here that we've been using with this before. But I wanted to, yeah, I did want to just use this and properly obliterate. It would have taken half the time to have done it this way, done it with the other one, but I think a plough is a much more reasonable way of doing it. I think you'd actually probably end up with lots and lots of little bits of poplar and wood and stuff in it if you did these the other way, and yeah. So or did these this way. I mean, if you left them this far to grow, you've got a lot of poplar that you're ploughing in here. So it probably would have been a wiser thing to have done it earlier or towards the end of last year. And got it done then. But we are doing it now with this plough, and it is working, especially those bits where they're ready to harvest. So yeah, we are doing it this way at the moment. It is going well. We are getting through this, and I think we're going to have to plant this field this way, even though with the terrain angle, this does make it look a little bit odd for our ploughing. But it is working. And we are getting rid of these poplars today. We're going to be looking at doing some stuff with the pigs soon. Springtime is always a good time for us to sell pigs. And if I have a look in here, I think, we'll set that off. If we have a look in our seasons setup here and our pigs, I should think we've got quite a few pigs that are, what, 200... half a year, yeah, so we've got quite a few half-year pigs ready to go. Some 0.6s as well, and some 0.7s, some 0.8s. So yeah, lots that are ready for selling. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of selling with the pigs. We might hire a lorry to do it, because we're going to be doing lots and lots of trips backwards and forwards if we try and sell all those pigs. Pigs are great in seasons. They are absolutely brilliant. But because they are so prolific, because they breed so much, you are forever selling pigs. Ideally, you want to every 2 days sell off your excess pigs. Sell those that have reached the half year if you can. Because otherwise you just end up with an absolutely full pigsty. In fact, how full is our pigsty? We have 300 pigs. I think it might only take 300 pigs. So it's yeah, you do need to constantly be doing that turnover and constantly be selling off the pigs. Otherwise, you just end up with a pigsty that is full and isn't breeding anything, which is again not a good situation. You're then just throwing your money away because you're not getting any piglets. So it's something we haven't particularly kept on top of on this series, but I think we need to. So I'm going to start looking at selling pigs as part of my bi-daily animal husbandry stuff, and see if we can make a little bit of extra money that way. So basically every 2 days on here, I'm going to be, we may not do it on a video every single time, but I will sell some pigs as part of getting rid of that. So we'll have I think next time we will probably work around that and having that as that set up as something that we need to do. We've also got this field. So we've got this field. We got field 41 needs planting. 43 needs planting. 42 needs planting, and 44. So we've got a lot of seeding to do over the next few days. We want to get the corn in as early as we can. We're kind of hoping for a nice sunny spell for the corn to grow fully, so that we can actually harvest it without being late autumn, early winter, when it's absolutely tipping it down with rain. We want to get all of our crops to grow and be harvestable as early as possible this year. And that is why we're going to be doing a lot of seeding even before the ground temperature is quite up to high. At the moment I'm not doing it at 0 because 0 is freezing, and while the ground is good enough for us to be able to plough like this, it is not good enough for us to put seeds in. I think we'd end up in seasons. I think we'd end up with a lot of stuff failing to germinate. So I'm not gonna do that. Most of our fields actually seem to be in pretty good state. Have come through the winter well, which worried me. They did all germinate thankfully before winter hit, which is what really works. I think I might see a patch in the middle. Yeah, a couple of patches in field 31 there that look like they failed to germinate or failed to make it through the winter, unfortunately. Oh. Let's just lift that and move that, otherwise we're on the wrong row. Down, and away we go. Yeah, and so we'll be able to get this field and the other one planted in the next few episodes as well. It's playing havoc with the other rows. You can see one row over, it's sort of sweeping through. But yeah, as unhappy as it is to see a field like this going under the plough, it is. I just until we'd seen how awful the money for them was, it was just, yeah, it would take forever to pay off that to pay off the baler that we were using. We certainly weren't paying for it each year. I think if we could eventually afford the baler, it might be worth it. But again, I come back to this whole thing of, if I'm only making that much money off this field, why wouldn't I just plant something else in here? It just makes very little sense to take up this much arable land and not put something that's worth a lot more money in it. If it had been a small difference, that would be one thing. Or if it had produced a lot of wood chips, that would have been one thing. But it was just horrendously low for the wood chips. And I think that is Poplar's problem, is that, you know, when is a good time to plant poplars? What kind of field, what kind of area is good for poplars? Because even if you just left this as grass and harvested that for silage, you'd make far more money off this field. And it'd cost you less in equipment. You can buy all the grass equipment to do silage on here for a lot less money than even just getting the baler. So yeah, it would have to be a really good reason for me to plant poplars again, I think. and I enjoyed doing them. I mean, that bio baler is really nice, but it is a crop that just doesn't pay. As something to do in the winter, though, I think it's a great crop if you plant it right. We planted it wrong. We need it to be planted about now, and if we did that, then we would end up with a crop right when we wanted it. As it was, we didn't, and we didn't. Now, interestingly, looking at the way they are done, we probably want to plant this field in the way that the poplars were planted. I think the field, it doesn't, no, it isn't quite on the field edge, is it? If it followed the direction of the field, that'd be one thing, but we didn't do that. We followed the direction of the cut, which is at 45 degrees. Right, we'll begin to see the edge of the field now on this side, and yeah, not far to go. And then I've just got one more field of this to do. That will clear it out. It is absolutely brilliant, this tractor. We've got 30 hours on this tractor now. Hitting, this is episode 61 as well, which is, there's only one map I've ever gone this many episodes on, and that was Ballincraig for the roleplay in FS 17. And I just love this map. This map is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so pleased that we've actually had the ability to go through and develop the farm, and really explore how to do this. There are lots of fields I would love to get on here. I mean, this next batch over, so 20, 25, and 18. If we have a look at that, I think is a great area there. It comes without a farm. It's only 276,000, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fields in that set. So 217 over there. But I think that would be a great addition to our farm. I really do. Alright, there goes our train. And yeah, continuing on here, I think we would do that. At the moment, I'm actually looking to continue on here. I've not got a map that I can replace this series with, and yeah, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I mean, let me know if you are enjoying this series, because I know I am. Could we hit, at the moment, the possibility that we could hit 100 episodes on this map is a very real one. There we are. And you know, even at 2 episodes a week, that's still 20 weeks. There we go. But I think we have the potential on here now. Now that we're freed of the loan, freed of everything like that, we are in a really great place to get this done and get this finished. Like that. Right, so headlands to do, and then that is this field finished. We've pretty much revealed all of where the edge of this field is. What we're going to do is we're going to do the edge first on the headland, not how you would probably do it in real life. Actually, no, we will do up to the edges like this. We won't do the edges first. We will go down and properly do this. Now, it depends on which seeder we use on here, of course, because one of our seeders does have built-in, it's a direct seeder, the other is not. The direct seeder is fine if we leave a couple of tufts of grass in the middle. The other one, of course, will have a problem with that. Yeah, so I want to get those couple of tufts that are kicking about. We should find the edge up here now. Doing this bit. And we can see roughly from the terrain angle how we're going to plant this field, to be honest. I don't see us deviating from that too much, to be honest. I think that would be a bad move. We wanna kind of plant the field in the way that would be realistic for us to cut it. We might start testing out. I know one of our seeders, I don't know if both of them do, have the I'm just gonna dip down here, get rid of this grass. Yeah. Have the tram lines on it. So we might see if we can put some tram lines into our field this year, if we can work it out, which would be great. Lift, please. There we go. That is looking good. I can't see, and I am just going to run my plough down the edge here. I don't think we have any. Oh, actually, no, better way, rather than doing that unrealistically. Do we have any indication down here? So it looks like there's a little bit of red by our gateway, but otherwise we just need to run along the bottom. So we'll just run a little bit by the gateway, just to open that up a bit. Yeah, I think we went a little bit off course. And there it is. Yeah, it is basically right up to the gateway. It cuts in towards it, which is weird. I would have thought it would have stayed out at that point, but hey ho. And then we just got round the bottom end of this field here to get that done. Right. Right. And switch it, because we always have the wheel into where we're ploughing. And across the bottom of the field. So yeah, the field is for the most part actually at about 45 degrees. And if we go with the shorter edge along the top, that angles us better. But that's how really we want to be doing it and setting it up. So that is right to the edge there. We have a couple of little patches of grass, so we'll just drop down, dip down and get those. So that one there, and this one here. There we go. Turn this. Around and in. And then, because we've cut along here, we can see the edge of the field pretty much. So it's a decent sized field this. This will do us well. It'll be a good one to add into the rotation and make and give us a good yield off here, I think. Especially following on from grass and poplars. We've got the one field at the top to go and do. I will go and do that off camera, to be honest, and because it's going to be more of the same of this. But yeah, there we go. That is our field complete. Let's have a look in here and see what we've got. So field 19 in comparison to most of our other fields is actually fairly small. It's smaller than field 42 as well. We need to put some lime in on this before we do it. Field 83 similarly. Ideally, what are we looking at putting in 44? Because we had sugar beet in there last year. Sugar beet in our crop rotation is followed by sunflowers. So sunflowers in here would be good. And yeah, sunflowers would do well. Perversely as well, corn would do well. Because corn coming out after grass, that would do well for us as well. But that is where we are going to leave today's video all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.